Don Samuels.
I'm Melanie Samuels.
So in 2012, I was running two businesses. I had a business at the airport, and I also had a landscaping business. As we were doing the lawn, the customer was giving me instructions, and I went to cross the street. And as I crossed the street, as I got ready to cross the street, my legs went out under me. And next thing you know, I'm in the hospital with a trach, a feeding tube. And then it got to the point where they had to shut my eyes closed. But at that time, it was just me and God. And I had to speak with him because that's the only thing that kept me sane. What do you do when you're laying like that for 24 hours a day? And I saw my wife and I said, God, take care of my wife. And I saw my children and I said, God, take care of my children.
When I get Mr. Samuels into our building, it was a long process, a very painful process. A process, I mean, sometimes you could hear him at the front of the building, you know, because it was so painful. I mean, with him screaming. So God would even tell me, get your oil and go anoint him. So I remember one morning, I was in my office and he said, go anoint his feet. I said, God, you sure? He said, go anoint his feet. So I got up and I got my oil and I just began to pour it across his feet and I walked out. Well, after a couple of days, his toes started moving. Another time, I remember him telling me, go anoint his legs. As I poured the oil, then his legs began to move. Their faith with my faith, his faith, and I know there were so many others that were praying for him, but I just saw God turn the thing completely around. And after 11 months, he did walk out of the building.
TOP, I just want to let you know this, that through what we went through, God had a plan. I went back to thank the nurses at Emory to let them know that I thought they did a great job. I went to thank them, and one nurse came to me and she started to cry. And she said, Mr. Samuels, I thought that when you left here that you had passed away, because I've never seen anyone with the acute Guillain-Barré that you have survive. She said, but because of that, my faith in God has been renewed. And she kept telling me she was sorry because she doubted God, is what she was telling me. And I told her, no, that's all right. My job was to come back and to let you know that God can do this. And God told me that he is bringing me back because people need to see miracles. I am a billboard for God. I'm not scared of the gospel, and I'll tell anybody my story, short or long, but I'll let them know what God can do. So now I work with Emory University, and I work in the same unit, Unit 71, where I lied as an ICU patient. And so now, TOP, you've got to know that God can touch, he can heal, and he's a deliverer. And if you don't believe that, just look at me.